Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Let's see. Uh, Jesus is Lord. I believe that's Barb. I'm trying to get some names straight. I think that Ben's over. No, yeah, Ben's over. Is that Barb? And Jesus is Lord is another Barb. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Kathy. Hey, Kathy. And I want to find out. I don't know. I think it's drops. I always call it drops, but I'd like to know a name for drops instead of drops. There's Susan. Trying to get some names straight because I say some names and then some names I'm not quite sure about, so I use part of their thing on here. So, but anyway, Jesus is Lord. What's for lunch? I had a hamburger just a little bit ago. I scarfed down because I'm so busy. I'm trying to get done. I kind of scarfed it down. A bunless hamburger, cheeseburger. I had a cheeseburger with no bun and an onion. I love onion, y'all. And I've got to go out and talk to people. And I really hate to eat onion when I know I've got to go talk to people, but can't help it. I love onion. I could probably eat, and I'm sure some of y'all, if you like onion, you could do that. I could probably eat a sweet onion like an apple. I mean, I really could. I just had some onion that wasn't real sweet, but it wasn't hot. So I had several pieces of it with my hamburger, and I could have ate more onion. But I got to go talk to people, and yeah. Let's see. Urban Bucket. I said hi to Urban Bucket. Nancy, our treasured home. Hello. Chris's Crusade. Hello there. She lives here close to me, and we have a kind of a group on Facebook that's called, I think it's called West Kentucky Homesteaders, maybe. And so I'm going to tell a little story. um, Michelle. So I have had rabbits, y'all, and some of y'all do. Some of y'all have rabbits. I have had rabbits for about 4 years now. And Lee does the, putting them together and breeding them. I say I have rabbits because I'm the one that wanted them. And I usually do a lot of the butchering. He don't like to do the butchering much, so I do a lot of the butchering. And then my daughter got rabbits, so we kind of do that together now. But something happened the other day. Michelle was asking on our group about her rabbit. Her doe had a one stillborn bunny. And then 2 weeks later, she started pulling hair again. And she asked if that was, normal or anybody. And I said I'd never heard of that. And I thought maybe she was just confused because she lost a bunny and was just still confused and pulling hair. And I've seen them do that. I've seen them be confused and either not pull hair at all or, pull hair later or, they rabbits will do strange things. And we haven't had as much of that as my daughter has. My daughter's had a lot of strange things with her rabbits. She had a rabbit that, killed all her babies and, just different things has happened. So I said, no, I'd never heard of that. Maybe she was confused or something. And somebody come on there, another girl come on there and said that she had heard of that. And then she put on there a piece. I don't know where she got it from. I can't remember where she got it from or if it even showed, but it was off the internet. But it was a piece off the internet that told that rabbits have two uteruses and can have simultaneous pregnancies. Now, some of y'all that have rabbits may know this, but I did not. And we've raised rabbits for about 4 years and butchered, and we've had really good luck with ours. We have had really good but does that done really good and were great mothers and everything. But I never had that happen. And I thought about this because I think one reason we've never had that happen is because Lee takes a doe, puts it over with the buck, and he stays there and watches. And as soon as they get their business done, he takes her out of there and puts her back in her cage. So we've never had the situation, I guess, to have simultaneous pregnancies. But that was interesting, and I learned something new. And Michelle, I was kind of embarrassed that I didn't know that because I've had rabbits for 4 years, and I was like, well, I didn't know that. Anyway, let me read a little bit here. So that was pretty interesting. I learned something new. Let's see. I hope I'm not missing anybody. Meredith, 4 Mile Creek. Hello from Western New York. I kind of remember you being from New York, I think, before, but it's been a while. So I'd forgotten that. Hamburgers are good. Let's see. She did end up having at least two last night, but ate them. My daughter has had that happen. And that's usually, I think, first time moms. First time moms don't do well. And I know that. But we've only had one. We've only had one first time mom that didn't do well. And I think that I can't remember. We either swapped her out. We don't have her anymore. We swapped her out or something. I don't remember now, but she's gone. And anyway, the ones we have now have done great. I've had the worst trouble with my rabbits never getting anything to live. The mamas don't take care of them, and sometimes they kill them. Yep, yep. Especially first time moms. Supreme had that a lot. My daughter had that a lot. And then with the second bunch, they would do better. So she's got one, well, two, both of her females now are good, but one of them is very protective too. But she's had done real good. And then the other one is a new mom, and so far she's done good. So she's doing better with them now. But for a little while, they just couldn't. It was a mess over there. They had a mess. They had everything happening. And then they had a male that got the ear mites real bad. And she was doctoring it too, but it got so bad that he died. And we're pretty sure that's what he died from. And she was doctoring it too, but he just got them so bad and couldn't get rid of them, and he died right after that. And so we're assuming, I don't know, that he died from that. So I always doctor my rabbits' ears, a couple times a year anyway, just to make sure. So I don't know about y'all. Y'all can tell me. And does anybody else love onions? I wanted to ask that. Does anybody else love onions so much that they could eat it like an apple? I love onions. I know people that hate onions, but I don't know. And I feel like I probably am going to have bad breath and go talk to people here a little bit. But anyway, I'm going to try to not stay on here too long. I said 30 minutes. If I can, I really need to. I really need to go at 12. So if I get to talking, I may go over a little. Another thing is that I wish I could show y'all. I don't think I can. I don't think, no, opening the door ain't going to help. The cottonwood here. I'm sure Michelle is seeing it. How many of y'all have the cottonwood this bad? And some of y'all y'all live all over the country, so some people may not even have what I'm talking about. The cottonwood is shedding so bad, it literally looks like a heavy snow out there right now. It looks like, my front yard looks like we are getting a heavy snow from the cottonwood shedding. And that's what's had me all boogered up and snotted up and all that. I'm better. I'm much better. but it tears Lee up too. Now, somebody said, and I believe she's not on here, I believe it was Linda Chandler. She doesn't live far. She lives about maybe an hour from us. And she had said that the wasn't the cottonwood that messed her up, allergies and sinus, is the locust. Well, I love the smell of locust, but I was sitting at one of my daughters. I have 5 daughters. I was sitting at one of my daughters' houses last week when I was all, snotty up anyway. And I was sitting on her front porch, and there was a locust blooming right there close to her front porch. And we were sitting there talking, and I got worse and worse and worse. And I said, you know what? Locusts might tear me up too. I don't know. I've always thought it was the cottonwood, but that locust bush was right there, or tree. It is not very big. I called it a bush because it was short. But that locust was blooming, and I was just getting worse and worse all the time. And I said, heck, I don't know. I might be allergic to a lot of things. I don't know. Let's see. Yes, I noticed it yesterday. It has been flying. I call it shedding. I don't know what it's technically called, but I say the cottonwoods are shedding. And it looks like little puffs of cotton floating out everywhere. Well, this morning, and it's been doing it for a couple of weeks now, a little bit, but this morning is bad out there. I mean, it looks like a heavy snowstorm out there this morning. And they're bigger. They're like bigger puffs of cotton. It's crazy. I could probably go round up some cotton and do something with it. Let's see. I love onions, and yes, can eat one like an apple. It can be so bad it looks like snow. That's how it's looking out there. Hey, Julie. It looks like it's snowing out there right now. So I'm hoping I don't start getting stopped up again. I've been much better. But Lee, he has bad sinuses anyway. So it's just all this stuff that's going on right now is tearing him up. And a lot of people have something. There may be just a common cold going around too, but a lot of people around here have the whatever, sinus allergy. I'm so glad it's raining because the cottonwood is being washed away. We get cottonwood, something awful around here. Yep. Driving home from daughter's house in Tennessee. Tennessee? For some reason, I was thinking you were in Texas. Anyway, be careful driving, and I'm glad you got to listen in, Patty. They wreak havoc with AC units. Yes, have to clean regularly. Yep. We don't have an AC unit. We just have window units, and it can stop them up too. But right now, we've only got one little one in the bedroom and then we'll put a big one in here in the living room soon. But he was going to do it this past weekend, but it turned off cold. I've been about to freeze. And then I've got to go to a ball game tonight. And the granddaughter, y'all all, most of y'all all know my granddaughter plays ball, and I'm real proud of her. And she's a senior this year. And she's actually the only senior. There went my light. That light don't last long. And I bet it won't come back on. Nope. Sorry, y'all. Y'all gonna have to see me in the dark. The bad lighting. That light just won't stay long. And I had it charged too. It just don't last long. I had to get a different one. Anyway, my granddaughter is the only senior on the softball team this year. And tonight is senior night. Excuse me. Where they recognize the seniors. There's usually 2 or 3, but this year she's the only one. So I'm going to be sitting out there watching her tonight. And if you know about her ankle, she had hurt her ankle and hadn't been able to play for the past, I don't know, 5 or 6 games. She hasn't been able to play, and her ankle is better, and the doctor released her to play tonight. So that was awesome. She probably begged. She probably begged him and said, "It's senior night. I have to play." She's a really good softball player. She's a good shortstop, and she got a full ride scholarship for softball. And then she hurt her ankle really bad, and we were really worried about that. But she got this morning, she got the okay by the doctor to play tonight. So, anyway, I'll be freezing because it has turned out cool here. Let's see. Old timers call those Eastern Barkus. I think every seed germinates. So I'm learning something new again. So those little cottonwoods are the seeds. Is that what you're telling me? Because I did not know that. I mean, maybe I've probably heard that before, but I always just said they were shedding. But I guess they're shedding seeds. Hmm. Well, I've probably heard that before because dealt with that all my life. But I've always just called it the cottonwoods are shedding. Eastern Barkus. Interesting. I'm learning all kinds of new stuff. See, old dogs can learn new tricks. Lee told me that the other day. Oh, we were talking about my new tools, my new power tools, and I was talking about learning and all. And he said something about old dogs learning new tricks. Anyway, um, fancy, stop. She's a yapper. So anyway, let's see what else I got going on. Newsletters. Newsletters for members are I've got them. I've done them. I've got them mostly printed. I've got to print a few more. I have 9 to mail out, and they're really good. You're gonna love them. I think they're really nice this time. And I don't know what I'm gonna put with them though yet. So I might have to look around and see what I want to send with them. It's hard to send, like when I send out newsletters, I send a little something in there, and it's hard to know what to send without upping your postage. So that's one reason I kind of keep it something small and flexible and not very heavy because I don't need to up that postage any more than it already is. Oh my gosh, postage is stupid right now and ain't gonna go down. It's only gonna go up. But postage is what 67 or 69. Somebody might know better than me. I always just get a whole book of stamps, and I don't think they do forever stamps anymore. The last time I asked forever stamps, they didn't have them, and the way she said it, I thought they quit having them. So I'm not real sure about that, but it was like 67 or 69 cents. It's stupid. I've learned I can ask 10 people the name of the plants and get 8 different answers. Me and Lee's been talking about that because if you are on Facebook, you can see the things. Oh my gosh. We have seen people argue over the difference between pokeberries and elderberries. And they are not that much alike. I do not know how on earth you can mix up elderberries and pokeberries. I do not know how anybody could mix that up, but we have seen it and laughed about it and fussed about it, and and I just don't get it. And there's some things that do look similar enough that you know, but I don't know. I guess you have to have an eye for certain things. But I am telling you, some people get on there and ask what something is, and they'll get all these different answers. And some of them are just like, what? What? Are you stupid? Like the pokeberry and elderberry. That is not that, they do not look alike. They're both purple. They're both berries, purple. I don't know. It just, they're not that much alike. And I don't know. We've seen them do it. It's funny. And yes, what you said, you can ask what a plant is and get all kinds of different answers. I just saw it the other day too. The other day, I can't remember what the plant was. Somebody asked what something was, and people were commenting, and half of them said one thing and half of them said the other thing, and I was like, "Oh, I know. It was parsley and um, cilantro. It was parsley and cilantro, and they do look a lot alike. The main way I tell is by the smell, but this was a picture, so you couldn't smell it. And the person was saying, "Can you tell which is which?" And some people were saying cilantro's on the right, and half of the other people were saying parsley's on the right. And they're like, you know, and then somebody started telling you how to tell, and they do look a lot alike. But I go by the smell on something like that. Herbs, a lot of herbs, you can tell by the smell. But anyway, it's funny. I saw a post of someone here local once showing a patch of elderberry, saying it was poison hemlock. Yeah, yeah, I've seen that too. And when they're blooming, and you can tell the difference. Now they do look a lot. I mean, they do look similar, and for some people, it's just hard to tell. I guess just like some of that other stuff that people and I have shown people foraging. Say in foraging, I've shown people a wild plant, and then they really can't tell. They'd be like, "Oh well, it looks like everything else to me. It looks like that. It looks like and it don't." And I'm like, okay. Some people just don't have that. I don't know. Maybe there's a thing there that you learn, and some people just don't have it. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, it's funny. Just don't do what I did and slip off the screw and drilled my thumb. Then I turned around and stapled it. I saw that, Kathy. This staple gun jumped off the board staple into my thumb, and then I jammed it 2 more times. I saw that, Kathy. That was awful. I wanted to put ouch. I saw it on Facebook, and I was gonna put ouch, but so many people had already put ouch. I was like, yeah. um, hey, Prep for Eternity. I'm sure that's probably Jennifer. I hope y'all are doing good. We were talking about the cottonwood shedding everywhere. It's awful. And I don't know if is there anybody on here that don't get the cottonwood shedding? Because I don't know if that's all over the country. And it would probably be different times. Like some people would have that earlier than other people. Anyway, ours is shedding really bad right now. And my front yard looks like it's snowing. I've seen it all my life, but I mean, it just seems like out there right now, it's worst I've ever seen. It's crazy. Don't know if Florida has cottonwood. You would probably know because it looks like little cotton puffs flying all over the place this time of year in the spring. My phone's going crazy over here. I may have to turn that off. Well, I've only got a few minutes. I'm not staying on here long because I really need to go somewhere about 12. So I'm going to try to get off here unless we get into a conversation that I can't leave. And my light went out, so I'm looking dark and red again. This light over here, I'm going to change it. But I put up this other light, and when I first come on, it was shining. It looked better. And now, so I try not to look at myself too much because I hate when the lighting's bad and I look red. And anyway, we get it bad here, but not yet. Another month or so. Okay. And you're in New York. So yeah, that makes sense. Yep. I'm sure down further south, they've already had it probably stopped by now. Look beautiful. Don't worry about it. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Examine one of those puffs to see if it's full of seeds. Okay. I may do that. I've just never um I've probably never looked at them before like that. I don't know. If I did, I forgot. I just know they're a mess. They get to be a mess. Anyway, let's see. What else? What else? What else? I talked about newsletters going out. I don't know when. Probably tomorrow. No, tomorrow's Wednesday. Probably be Thursday. I have to go out Thursday. Up. So I'm not sure what cottonwood is. Oh, so y'all may not have it there. So it's a cottonwood tree, and it sheds these little puffs of cotton. It looks like little bitty pieces of cotton floating around in the air, and it causes a lot of sinus allergy problems. But and somebody up above, I think Barb said, I can't remember who said it. Somebody said it was seeds, and I don't remember if I've ever been told that. I forgot. Don't remember that it was seeds. But anyway, it sheds. It's a tree, and it has a regular big old tree, and it has, I don't know what, little puffs of cotton. Right now, my front yard looks like it's snowing. That's how bad it gets sometimes. And anyway, I always think that causes allergies, like when I get sniffly this time of year. I think it's from the cottonwood. But somebody, Linda Chandler, I believe, had said the other day that what gets her is the locust, and the locust is blooming right now too. And I was saying that I was sitting at on my daughter's porch, and there was a locust right there, and I was getting worse and worse and worse all the time. So I start coughing and carrying on, and I was like, okay, maybe the locust does get me too. Anyway, so hmm, are the trunks hollow in the middle? Are the trunks hollow in the middle? Are you talking about the cottonwood? I don't know. I don't know. If you're talking about the cottonwood trees, I don't know. Mm. And I forgot what else I was fixing to tell y'all. Huh. I lost my train of thought and forgot what I was fixing to tell you. I don't know. I don't know if the cottonwood trees are hollow. I wouldn't know that. I'd have to ask Lee that. Lee's a tree guy. Lee knows all the trees, or most all of them. He can pretty well look at a tree and tell you what it is, or look at the leaf and tell you what it is, and that kind of thing. And I only know certain ones. I don't know a lot of them. And so, um, shoot, I was fixing to tell y'all something else. Maybe I did tell you. Mm, That's how the mind goes, slowly but surely. So, uh, um, so also, the place where I'm selling my products at, the it's called the Olive Branch. It's a kind of a thrift store, and I have my herbal products out there. What I sell on Etsy, and I sold four to one person yesterday. I'm fixing to mail that out today, and so my products are out there, and I go out there at least once a week and check and see what's sold so I can replace it and all that. And so now I'm going on Tuesday because they're having a Bible study. They're having a women's Bible study out there at 2 o'clock. So I have to go do the bank stuff and all that, and I've got to go to the post office and the bank and all that, and then be out there at 2 o'clock for women's Bible study. And I went last week and enjoyed it, and so I thought that I would make that my day. Of course, everything's Tuesday for me, but I thought I would make that my day to stop in there and check on my products and join the Bible study. So I'm fixing to cough. Sorry, y'all. Let's see. Our aspen trees are like that. They drop these long, fluffy, like caterpillar things all over the place. Then when they get wet, they stain the cement purple. Huh. Now we don't have that. Whatever that is, aspen trees. We evidently don't have aspen trees because I haven't seen that. We have some others. We have what is the one maple maybe that gets the little helicopter things? That's a seed. It gets a little seed with a little curved thing on the back of it. And when they fall, they spin around and we call them helicopters. And I found out just a couple of years ago that those are green. When they fall, they're dead and they're brown. But when they're green, still up in the trees, they are edible and are similar to. I'm going to say this wrong. Edamame. I can't say it without reading it. Edamame seeds. You know what I'm talking about? I know I said that wrong. Now I'm gonna start coughing. Sorry, y'all. Blame the cottonwood. Yes, I don't know how to say that. Edamame? Edamame? I don't know. I don't know how to say it, but that's it. They're supposed to taste similar to those when they are still in the trees and green. And you can eat them, and they are similar to that. And you can eat them raw, or you can also cook them, like steam them or something. Edamame, 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 edamame. Without seeing it, I'm going to say it wrong again. But anyway, I'm not good at pronouncing certain things. We used to play with those as kids, the helicopters. Yeah. Yeah. Get a bunch of them and throw them up in the air and watch them come down. And let's see. Ed, mom, May. Edamame. 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 Hey, Kiss My Grass Acres. Red. Hey, Red. Goodness. So I think, well, some Southern people can say things. I think a Southern thing is not being able to pronounce some things. It's just what we do. Not that all Southern people are that way. So let's see. It's 12:02. I really probably need to get off here and get going. Sorry for the short live, but I figured it's better to have a short one and talk for a few minutes than not have one at all. I am fixing to send out newsletters in the next couple of days for members. So I think there's 9 on the list. And so if anybody wants a great newsletter, I do a front and back. I do a newsletter front and back. It's got information, good information, foraging information, and a little bit about what's going on our homestead. And I throw in a puzzle and, something fun to do. And then I throw in something. I don't know what I'm putting in this week because I have to really look and find something that doesn't weigh it down heavy and is fairly flexible so that when the letter goes through the machine, it doesn't, cause problems because then they charge you more postage. And it can't be too thick or they charge you more postage. And postage is just too high now. Been up all night working. How you been working on your products that you're making to sell? Is that what you've been doing? Yep. Have a blessed week. Rest of the week. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not staying on here because I have a lot to go do. So I only done a 30-minute live so that I can get out of here. I've been working too. I've been working. I'm semi retired, but I'm still working some. And I had several things to write this morning for the paper. I had a couple of meetings that I had to write up and stuff like that. And I'm still doing their obits and writing. And obits take 3.5 hours. It takes about 3.5 hours to do the obits. So anyway, so I'm gonna get off here and go get my stuff done. Thank y'all for being in here. I appreciate everybody, and I will check. I will check um, the memberships again before I mail these out in case anybody wants to get in on that. It's I think $1.99 per month, and you could do a couple of months and see if you enjoy the newsletter. And if you don't, stop it. And if you do enjoy the newsletter, you can keep it up. And sometimes I try to do special things for members. I haven't done a lot lately except for the newsletters, but sometimes I try to put your names up on videos and things, appreciating you. So, anyway, uh, yep, the newsletter will go out maybe Thursday. I got to find something to stick in them. I just printed them out today. And anyway, it's a good one. You'll enjoy this. I hope you enjoy all of them, but this one's, I don't know, special. Anyway, thank you all for coming and stopping in on your lunch and listening. And I'm going to go get busy. See y'all next time.